an inner view with Ryan Gallagher.
Beautiful.
Oh, praise the Lord.
Okay. Thunderbirds are go. Feels a bit like a launching pad from the seat.
Does it?
Doesn't it? I feel like Spock.
Strap yourselves in.
Taking off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous.
We're in a rave once, and my little brother, there was like a tune about to drop, and he just goes, "Wait, hold on a minute," and then just does the seatbelt thing, and then as the tune was kind of building up, he started going up like a, and then just as it was about to drop, he then just started going. When you see him get to do it, it was brilliant. It was like mime. Like he should have been a mime. No.
There we go.
It's good. Maybe that's his talent. Maybe he should have been a mime.
Future career.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
If all else fails in
Yeah.
what he's doing,
It's so fun.
get down Waterloo.
Yeah. Did I ever show you the video of that kettle as well?
Which one?
Oh, yeah, I sent it to you. It was at that same rave.
Oh.
Did you ever get it? Did you
Yeah.
Did you find it funny? Like,
Oh, yeah, it's hilarious.
yeah. Basically, it was a kettle, but it wasn't. It was basically, imagine you want a cup of tea. You have to fill up like a chamber of water, which you have to take out of the kettle, fill it up in the sink, and then bring it back to the kettle. Then when you put it in, you then put your cup under this spout or tap, one might say, and there's a little mechanical adjustment to say how much hot water you want in your thing. You click go, and it has this almighty build-up. And once you've been in a drum and bass rave, like in Bristol for however long, all you can hear is drum and bass music. So you're actually kind of like building up to this steamy kettle, and you think it's going to have this almighty crescendo, and it sort of goes, starts vibrating like, and then eventually, just as the water's finished in this time, like you've got your hot water, and it's just about to spill out the spout, it goes,
Oh.
and then the
What
water
a
just goes,
disappointment.
and it's like kind of, like,
Sounds pervy.
yeah, you know the wee you take before you set off on a long journey, and it's like you didn't need to wee yet, but you're gonna do it anyway, and you get this small kind of, there's no pressure behind it, It's like that, and it comes out, and then if you want another cup of tea, you have to go through the whole process again, and it takes about 2 minutes.
Oh.
So you want a round of teas with a couple of mates, it takes like 10 minutes, and the first person's tea is already cold, and it's had to boil the whole chamber every time.
Progress.
Yeah, but that is progress, yeah. And the worst thing about it was we Googled it to find out how much this contraption cost, right? And it was literally a piece of plastic. I think it was by Morphy Richards, one of those companies, right? And I think it came to, okay, guess how much it was. You saw a picture of it.
I would say about £150.
No, not quite as extorted. It was quite plasticky.
Okay, 90.
It was 65 quid. 65 quid. But okay, I tell you what, I did find the reason for its design
Yeah.
was that if you are not very strong, it's quite difficult to pick up a kettle of hot boiling water and then pour it.
Okay.
Right. But this was in a student accommodation, so I don't know how many elderly students, like over kind of 80. I imagine that would become a
And I'd imagine their bone densities are pretty alright enough to pick up a
yeah. They
kettle.
probably go gym and stuff as well. Like
Hopefully.
yeah, maybe even I don't know. Maybe even just sipping tea is strong enough to keep your bones strong enough at that age. I think.
I remember at uni, and there was a it was just the thing you did. It was like especially full of a bunch of northern people.
Yeah,
It was just like, oh, fancy a brew. All right, yeah, I'll have one. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I thought you were going to talk about gym.
Imagine. No. As I said, I'm at the moment modelling myself on a polar bear. I'm going for the polar bear instincts rather than the caveman.
Hibernation. Yeah.
Yeah, hibernation. Yeah. If they do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be useful for something.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the winter is, though, isn't it? Especially in some cities like Berlin, for example. I'm pretty sure everyone there's hibernating right now.
Yeah. It is. It does draw in that, that kind of, just that inward nature. But right now I can because we're entering into spring, I can feel myself sort of coming out a bit more and being like, oh, okay, literally like daffodils like budding.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, all right.
I'm just enjoying the days getting a bit longer.
Yeah.
Is it getting colder or hotter there? It's getting colder, isn't it? Getting crisper.
Crisper. Yeah. Crisper, but with sun.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Mm.
As long as there's sun, it's nice. If it's just dreary all the time, like it really gets to you sometimes. But as long as there's sun.
Yeah, I mean, we were up Glastonbury Tor the other day, and it was pretty crisp, but it was just beautiful because the sun was out. You could see all around the fog and mist had come, but yeah,
this is just lovely, isn't it?
just beautiful. Just
that little girl,
beautiful.
do you remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on the hill. She was like, "This is lovely, isn't it?"
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
So, should we get official?
Yeah.
Should we get officially down to the crux of this meat?
Yeah.
Which is
well,
how do you kind of explain it? The format is just putting it out there.
Is that a jingle?
It could be.
But yeah.
I could use that actually. I'm going to edit that out, and that'll be the.
Wait, shall we try like an uninterrupted one?
Okay. Just putting it out there.
But.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's
that may be the start. All right.
I mean, to be fair, if we're both doing it, we can just do the jingle every time.
Yeah, we could do actually.
Live,
Nice little.
it?
Yeah,
Live.
we're live, man. That'd be a nice little intro into it, isn't it? So yeah, you came up with the concept of it. So tell us about it.
So just putting it out there it tends to be something I tell my girlfriend or my family, and then they all kind of shout me down until I've got nothing left to say, and I'm just a kind of crying ball of mess, kind of questioning my own existence. But then when I tell Ryan, he's kind of like, yeah, I mean, that might have some sense to it.
Mm.
And then it's kind of something like after 6 months, like someone in my family will come to me and say, yeah, I tried doing this and it felt great. I'm like, well, yeah.
Thank you.
Good on you. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, right, yeah.
I knew it, but thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to have my thoughts reaffirmed. Thank you.
I'm not saying that everyone has to do what I've been saying, but I've just, I was just putting it out there.
Well, that's I think that's what's so good about it is literally you're just literally just saying it. It's just like I'm just saying that X plus Y maybe doesn't equal Z, and therefore it could be done this way. And then also the fact you're actually doing it yourself, and the fact you're actually, you're sort of using yourself as a sort of test guinea pig in a way.
Mm. Yeah, I think I think one thing is like when someone talks to you and like kind of has to have a real discussion with someone about something, like it really helps if they've either A, read something about it and are kind of thinking about it and have done some thought, or B, preferably have some experience doing it themselves, right? And I find it frustrating sometimes, and I really do have to, take a lot of deep breaths occasionally when I'm speaking to people and I know they have neither of the two, but still seem to be an expert. And I'm not saying I'm an expert, right? And I'm happily, willing to sit there and listen to the right person who's got good intuition about these things based on prior art, right? But that is a very strong basis for having good information, right? Is actually having the information in the first place, right? And not something based on essentially a message. So essentially this concept is dispelling myths and messages that have been fed down to us, kind of from parties with either something to gain or things that have just been lost over a long period of time. So
that's an interesting bit. You said parties that have something to gain.
absolutely, most things most just putting out there things are pretty much just from parties who had something to gain, something to sell, something to produce, something to something to gain from the information and you believing it, and then you kind of end up with the situation where you have kind of your ancestral wisdom and knowledge. Sorry, Ron. Your ancestral wisdom and knowledge, which is kind of this, passed down through generations, and it's something that's kind of, based on a lot of experience, right? And then you've got this kind of huge dump of information we've received in the last, few hundred years, and since essentially marketing has existed and capitalism really has had something to gain from it, which has just kind of eclipsed all of that, right? And now, essentially, people don't know what's right anymore, right? The one question I want to ask is, I'm a kind of young, kind of I'd say very privileged boy. How do I live a good life, right? How do I live ethically, and what is right anymore? Because it's the messages that have been fed to my parents, that were fed to their parents, have been diluted totally now. So now it's up to me to come, essentially us to come up to our own devices to decide what's correct, right? And most people don't even know what to believe anymore, right? And most people's thoughts aren't their own. They're not based on experience. They're not based on, they're not based on kind of anything really other than just something they were told by someone else, and now that's what they believe. So, just putting out there is kind of a small, I'd say, ideology to just plant the seed of a question in someone's head, just to question their reality. Is that really, is whatever I've been doing or whatever I believe to be the case really actually the case? And what do I actually believe, and what fits into what I believe to be either being a good person or living the right way or anything really.
And that's I think that's kind of, yeah, that's not like half the battle, but it's just like, oh, that question's being posed, and therefore, if it's something quite outlandish and something like, oh my God, what? Like, what do you mean? But as long as you analyze it and pose that question with yourself, and then if you do deem it to be true, or you think actually, well, there's a good point there actually, then yeah, I think that's kind of the goal as well, isn't it? Or just to plant that question, that seed of like, okay, look, is it true or is it not true? Do you believe it to be true or not?
I mean, a lot of it will come on the basis of like, okay, well, I heard somewhere that some, someone who everyone might perceive to be a nutcase said X, right? Oh, well, actually, let me think about that. Okay, so if I was to try that, or if I think that I might have some basis, how would I go about that would fit my kind of normal life? And then try it, and then kind of say, well, actually, I'm still alive. I've not, I don't smell of, decomposing bin trash or something, right? I don't, I've not withered away into this kind of, my teeth haven't fallen out of my mouth. My, my limbs are all still attached. I could still, I'm still here. So, okay, well, what does that mean, right? Does it mean that, okay, what I've replaced that activity with was pointless? Does it mean that what I'm now doing is better than before? Does it mean that both things doesn't actually matter? Right? What's the question here? How did I feel when I was doing it? What, could you try it yourself? Like, it was the person who initially said that so crazy, right? So there are many kind of things to be answered, and it's kind of within the kind of moving outside your comfort zone and in self-experimentation, and not kind of just not holding strong opinions on stuff that you just don't know yourself, right? Because that's what's happened a lot in today's society, right? Like, think how many people who have strong opinions on, I don't know, just anything, right? Like a gym routine or what they believe to be good way of managing people or whatever, right? When they haven't tried any of the other kind of any of the other processes, or or they just I mean they just don't have as much experience as they could have, right? Because they're stuck.
Yeah. What was? Do you remember the first time you went? I wonder if it could be that way, or I don't know. What was the first bit you read that you thought, actually, okay, this could be the start of this, or actually not even the first bit. Have you actually got one right now in your head that you could pop out into the ether, or that we could have a chat about?
Oh, like I just putting out there. Well, I mean, I tell you what, it all started. I'm trying to think of the first just putting out there that I ever kind of. Well, obviously, it wasn't that concept, but I think it was when I stopped washing my hair, like with soap, like just water. And then I mean, I've still got a lot of hair, and I don't get an itchy scalp. I used to get like a bit of itching here and there. Used to be kind of. It felt amazing just after I'd washed it, but then I'd need to wash it again in order to get the same thing. So I'd have to use all these soaps and things, and then one day I just maybe didn't have any shampoo, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just wash it with water, and it was still good. And then it just carried on for weeks, and then months, and then everyone always says, "Oh, your hair's so lovely," and I think, well, like, oh, what do you do? Like, yeah, don't wash it. Like, what do you mean you don't wash it? Don't wash it. Like it never stinks. It's got this. It doesn't. When you wash your hair straight with shampoo. I mean, Ryan, I don't know if you still remember. But.
Carry on.
Sorry.
I actually never used to do it anyway. So,
really? You never wash your hair with soap at all. So you didn't.
No.
So you're already there. You're already doing it.
Yeah.
And what? So tell me, like, how did it feel?
Now?
Well, how do you remember it feeling? What's your?
Oh, the days. Oh, the days of the hair.
Reminisce.
When I could cycle and it could just flap in the wind, the comb over. I'm trying to think. I just didn't really see the need to put chemicals in my hair. Really, that was kind of the crux of it. I was like, well, I don't really know why I need to wash. Yeah, I just didn't really see the point in shampoo and in, especially when somebody said that essentially they're like dead, they're just dead follicles. I don't know, dead.
Yeah,
is that right?
I mean, I don't believe
they're obviously alive
to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
to grow somewhere. But yeah, so anyway, I just and I don't know. I think it was always, growing up, it was always seen as like a sort of like a girl, like just in my head, it was like a girl's thing. You wash your hair, boys shave it off, and then
I always thought girls didn't wash it every day, and boys were supposed to wash it every day. That's what I thought.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've always kind of had it in my head from growing up that like girls wash their hair every day because they're quite precious about it, and it could be that could be a completely dumbfounded argument. But so whenever I put it to someone that I know somebody doesn't, or someone doesn't wash their hair and it's a girl, they're pretty like, oh god, that's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's still it's like highly resisted.
Yeah, very much so.
But I mean, firstly, it's free. You can try out for free. Right.
No
as of actually, you'll find most of these just putting out there, they're much cheaper than the alternative, right? And it's the kind of thing that takes a bit of upfront investment. Of like maybe, I mean, for me, it literally just didn't buy an eyelid to it. Like, I don't know, the first day I didn't wash it, I was like, I mean, I probably forgot, right? And then eventually, you'll realize that your hair actually creates this kind of layer on it. That when you wash your hair, it's kind of like already got soap. Like when you wash your hair just with water, it's kind of like it's already got soap in it. Like it's kind of got this like layer of oil on it. Like and it's actually quick to dry as well. It dries much faster than I remember with shampoo. Because I've got long hair, I don't blow dry it before I go to bed or anything. Just
and you're sitting here today with a pretty lovely full head of hair.
Thank you,
which
Ryan.
I'm very jealous of.
Thank you, Ryan.
If truth be told,
I'm actually playing a game at the moment. It's called "How long can I grow my hair and it keep growing?" Maybe that I believe this might. This is totally.
You you could be going down like Metallica death metal kind
You think
of
so?
routes, because I've seen them guys.
They grow a lot.
I've seen them guys with the tour t-shirts and the fucking hanging on Bill Bailey kind of thing.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, okay, if I start losing the front, I mean,
Yeah.
But basically, game is how long can I grow it, and I believe that would have some marker of my overall health,
The quality of your hair.
the quality and the length I'm able to grow it to.
Oh.
Maybe there's a point at which genetically it'll stop.
Right.
But I think I can grow it pretty long, because I think I've been shying away from, like, I've got pretty thick like hair. It's very difficult to. It's not very malleable. Like you can't, if I put products in it, I need like a lot.
and that is the I think that's also the kind of the trap, is that once you have that conditioner or that that shampoo, but then do you need other things to go with that to make your hair fuller and brighter and bigger and bolder and it's okay. So from a male perspective, that's that. Now put your shoes. Now put your stilettos on, and get into like a female perspective. There we go. Yeah, sit back. Like, what about the girls that have, say, long hair or frizzy hair or whatever, and their views on like, I need this shampoo and conditioner because that's the way it is.
Don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. I speak to my brother's girlfriend, Abby. And she's basically convinced that she can't, like, if she was not to use shampoo, like, she dyes her hair, she goes gets does stuff to it. I don't even know what the name is, right? And she reckons that, like, if she was not to wash it, there's too many. She has to use too many products for it to, like the dye and the and this, and then you go to the thing and it gets dyed, and then you got to wash that out, and you don't want to know what that process. Like, there's a lot of kind of hardening and tempering that's happening to.
So she's kind of in the trap.
Yeah. I mean, her hair looks amazing. So I've can't comment really. Like, it was great. But I can't answer that question because I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's just because my sister, we were driving down to the Italian with my mum's birthday, and she was like, "Well, tell just ask Sav about curly frizzy hair then." And I was like, "All right, I'll ask him." See what he says.
I honestly don't know. There's so many. There's a whole world in there. I was walking past like a nail salon like the other day. I was telling my girlfriend Galina. I was like, you know what? I just don't think. I think that's like one institution. I just don't think I'll ever know anything about. Like, I won't know anything about the culture, the people, the names of what you call stuff in there. Like, I just won't know. I'll probably trying to think if I've ever set foot in one. I don't know. Like, it's the kind of thing where you walk down the high street and your kind of eyes are like, okay, well, William Hill, and then the stuff that you kind of know about, right? And then you probably don't even realize that there's a nail salon, like, just next to your house, right? Or outside. There's like 1,000 up on this road. But I don't kind of register to there because I'm not.
I'm gonna one day get Lucy on the podcast and get to chat about nails.
Oh, right, okay.
Because they look insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, literally art on nails. It is.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
but does
crazy.
she do the art herself?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
That's cool. My cousin got into doing that for a while. It was good, like the dots and stars.
Yeah,
and
like these ones. Yeah, they've got like stars on them, and there's different like. Yeah, it literally. I mean,
it's cool.
It's art. It's cool. Amazing. Yeah. So yeah, I'll because I'm pretty sure she must have done some sort of like some sort of course in it or something.
Yeah.
So I'll ask.
The hair thing though,
nails.
like going back to the hair thing, I was just thinking like I imagine that if you've just got like long straight hair, you don't need to wash it. Like, I really just don't think you have to wash it. Like, I think that you could get like like much thicker, healthier hair if you didn't wash it.
Well, there is that. This could be true or it could be not true, but there is that thing I've heard that after 6 weeks, your hair starts self-cleaning itself, and it makes its own kind of cleaning mechanisms.
It reaches a kind of critical point where, like, you have a shower and then you get this kind of. It feels a bit matty, like when it's wet, but like now it's dry, it feels. I don't know. It feels totally normal. Like, it feels as if I've just got normal hair. Like I've washed it every day. I do wash with water, by the way. I don't totally not wash it because they're dust and bugs and God knows what gets in it. So
To be fair as well, this our Italian friend Andrea, when we were going out once, and back in the days when I had hair, those glorious days, I was putting this because Kiri's use this bedhead stuff.
Oh yeah, good product. That.
Really,
it
keeps it in place.
Yeah,
like really keeps it there. And I used this for years and years and years. And then Andrea turned around one day and he was like, I was putting it on and he was like, Ryan, why you use this stuff? Look at you. You have 24 year. I have a 30 year. Look at my hair is thick. And yours is. I was like, you might have a point there, really, because all the chemicals are going in there, and yeah.
Do you think that's like I don't know what
Genetics.
the causes of baldness? I think it's just partly baldness, partly genetics, partly not. But put it this way, I'm pretty sure my dad's never used a single piece of hair gel in his life, and he's 61 and got a full head of hair.
Yeah.
And none of his brothers, his dad gone, no one has any hair. So he's the only one that has hair. So whether I've got that gene or not, I don't know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
Okay, so just putting out there is you don't is shampoo and conditioner actually needed? And so how long have you gone not now?
I think
using
more than
shampoo?
2 years now.
Okay.
More than 2 years. Yeah.
It was great for mum sitting.
Just put it this way, Galena would tell me if it stank.
Yeah, right.
And
I tried doing that. I tried doing that without soap and deodorant. Oh, without deodorant on my pits, and Dee often was like, "Mate, come on, let's get you some deodorant now."
So that's a controversial one, right? So not a controversial one, but an interesting one you raised because sorry, maybe so I use that bottle there, tea tree oil, just as deodorant, right? Okay. And I'm pretty sure I'm just too lazy to like mix it up. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to like put in a carrier oil and then maybe put some essences in there. But I've never bothered, so I just use that straight on the old pit, and it doesn't last very long.
Okay.
And normally I've like done some exercise and I come back and Glena's like, "Oh, you smell terrible," and then I say. And then she goes, "Don't worry, I'm used to it by now." And that's it. So the deodorant one is, I think, could definitely be improved on my part, and it's not through. It is through lack of trying, but it's not through lack of like experimentation. You know what I mean? All I know is that I just never want to go back to spraying a bottle of Lynx, or I never want that substance to touch my skin ever again.
Yeah, agreed.
Until I die. Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. Somebody when I was like 17 or 16 or something, somebody said a statement to me that it was bad for the environment, like spraying a deodorant can. And I was like, I don't really get it. How? Like what's all that about? And then when you research into it, you realise that actually it's because it's releasing crap into the air, and what it's actually doing is just completely blocking your pores. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I agree. All that spraying deodorant. We use D actually got me into using this. It's called KUTIS Cutis, and it's made in Wales. And it's like a roll-on deodorant. It does cost quite a bit, but since I've been using it, I actually don't smell at all.
Oh really?
And
well, I think you smell pretty good. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you smell quite fresh.
Oh,
yeah. Like I don't really know what the. I don't have another word for it. Yeah, fresh.
Well,
fresh,
I'll get the deodorant out, and you can see if it smells like deodorant.
Yeah. Well, what do you know what's in it? You know what the basis is? No.
It's downstairs. We could pause and I could get it.
We'll look at it. Yeah.
We'll look at it later. All right. But yeah, so yeah, I've been using that, but I think the basis is just a lot of oils and it does
a lot of oil. Okay, so it's like a
roll on.
It's maybe that's what I need, because that thing you just kind of put some in your hand and kind of do that. So interestingly, in that, you remember that book what's it called, 10% Human? Remember the book I lent you? So in there there's a section So basically, it's a book essentially on the microbiome and kind of bacteria around role of bacteria in the human body, and how only of all the cells in our body, only 10% of those are human animal cells or human cells, and the rest are all bacteria. And there was one part in there that talked about kind of deodorant use, right? And kind of did a caveman, just putting out there analysis on it. Basically said, well, okay, let's look at kind of pre or kind of more primitive societies. Do they smell, right? Then let's look at so they kind of broke it down to three categories, right? There was your kind of modern age human, right? And typically we don't smell because we normally shower once a day, or even twice a day. Use a lot of kind of deodorants and stuff, quite antibacterial, right? And it's normally the smell normally comes from bacterial like decay and essentially fermentation in your armpit, right? And that's what causes the smell. So that's not happening because we just don't have that much bacteria on our skin, right? But then if you actually look, okay, so primitively or more kind of more primitive cultures, do they smell? Well, they don't have links, right? But okay, I have no experience of this, but apparently they don't smell, right? Although I have, to be fair, I mean, I've met guys in the Amazon and stuff. They didn't strike me as particularly pungent, right?
Hello. God, you smell.
God, wow. And so they didn't smell, and there's been a lot of research to kind of suggest whether they did or didn't smell, right? And apparently they didn't, right? But there was this middle ground of guys who had basically from a kind of more primitive society, who had kind of merged into our society, and they knew they had to kind of shower every day, but they didn't really get why or what, And those are the guys that really stank. Huh. So the argument made in the book was that so in our culture there's kind of no bacteria to cause any decay in your armpit or around your body, and hence BO, right? And in the first instance, the bacteria, so the microbiome in your armpit has balanced to the point where, because you're not removing it, you're allowing your body to kind of carry out its natural kind of equalization, homeostasis processes, whatever you want to call them, right? There is actually essentially no smell is being, there's that bacteria that thrive there to produce that smell are being crowded out by the rest of the bacteria that your body is providing. So the people in the kind of middle ground who have been exposed to both ways of doing it have been washing away the balanced bacteria, and it's the same goes for washing your hand with antibac wash. You kill most of the bacteria that aren't resistant to it, which are also the bacteria that are least of least threat, and you keep the bacteria that have become most resistant to it because we've been trying to stamp them out with antibac the whole time, right? So now you end up with a scenario where you're removing any chance of a kind of a population equalization, right? And harmony, and you're just allowing the bad guys to win. That's basically what happens. And
then by like allowing the bad guys to win, you therefore need that external product that's gonna.
It's a self perpetuating cycle, isn't it? Yeah. That's what happens to a lot of this stuff. You kind of apply something that fixes one problem, but gives you a whole set of other problems, and then there are other products or solutions for those sets of problems, and then that kind of keeps feeding in with itself, right? So, for example, if I'm dyeing my hair, that must fuck up my hair. So now I need to use this product to make my hair nice again, right? But now in doing so, I've now ruined the quality of my hair further. So I now need to apply more and more product to make it nice. And so now I've just got this kind of, multicolored mess on the I don't know. I mean, that's got to be. I mean, to be blunt about it, that's got to be what's happening, right? It's the same with. I don't know. It's the same with deodorant, same with hairspray, same with all that kind of stuff, right? Same with different types of soaps, or yeah.
it makes it makes sense to me, especially after you put it in terms of the whole bacteria and about taking away the the stuff that naturally would self-regulate yourself.
I mean, what? So the question is, like, if I'm, for example, for the hair thing, right? If I maintain a good diet, right, then is it that my body is supplying nutrients to my hair directly from the hair itself?
Is it that your body is supplying nutrients to the hair? Okay, right.
So I mean, no, my hair's growing, and is being supplied nutrients through basically everything my body's producing. Right, my body is converting multiple different kind of, not necessarily energy sources, multiple different the micronutrients and macronutrients, etc. that I'm taking in through any means. My body is then saying, okay, well, we need to grow some hair now, so here you go. Right. It's not okay. Maybe I need to put some stuff back into my hair, right, through some oil or something, right? But I haven't seen the need to do that. Like, so what? So normally, I feel like these products are marketed to put the nutrients back into your hair. Well, where do they go? Well, they fucking went when you put loads of chemicals on it and tried to strip everything out, including the hair itself, right? So you're kind of napalming your head with this, and your skin is highly absorbent, right? If you turn over the back of a shampoo bowl, right, there's all kinds of shit in there that I don't want to be eating, but it's just because I didn't taste it doesn't mean it didn't enter me, right? So yeah, that's the. I mean, it's easy to get kind of quite finicky about this and like really over the top, but it's really quite a basic thing to maintain if that was something important to you. Like, someone who say, oh, I don't eat processed food, I don't eat Kit Kats and Twix and whatever, but I use shampoo. But there's way more stuff in there. Like, okay, Kit Kat's gonna spike your blood sugar, but shampoo has like potentially carcinogenic chemicals in it. Like,
you wouldn't eat a plate of benzodeoxypriomyethoxide with aqua and with whatever diomyo. I
don't even pronounce any of the names on there.
Yeah, you wouldn't eat a plate of it. So therefore, why would you put it on your skin, which is more absorbent, or if not as absorbent than putting it in your mouth?
Yeah. So, and I think so you could say, okay, in isolation, like if you compare yourself to someone who uses shampoo and somebody who doesn't use shampoo, right? Are you going to really tell the difference? Probably not, right? Like, you stand two people next to each other, and that's the only difference. It's not going to make a marked difference on their overall health. But it's the kind of thing where if you do 1% right of all these things together, eventually now, okay, well, you got someone that doesn't use shampoo, he doesn't eat processed food, he doesn't use like say for example like super cheap toothpaste that's got like exactly the same thing, mouthwash that's like bright blue, drink food, etc. Right? These things are all going to feed into together now, and now you're suddenly 10% better, right? And that's a big difference. That's a noticeable difference. So if you're kind of doing all those things right, which aren't necessarily complicated or have the same ideology behind them, now you'll start to see kind of, I think, effects on your physiology.
But then how do you combat the aesthetics? Because if it just say for example, Joe and Jane were tomorrow to stop using shampoo, and then they went out, and then they were in a group of friends or people where it was the norm you did, and then suddenly it slipped out that you were are you then going to be ostracized? Are you then going to be like
probably so people will say like what? But then eventually people just get used to it. Like they'll see. Okay, I mean, so normally I think most things in life, I mean, great achievements anyway. I'm not saying like not washing your hair with shampoo is a great achievement, but it's something like, say you had, kind of poor hair health, right? And you wanted to give it a go to see if it would change it, right? Not using shampoo might actually be a good option for you, right? So you probably have to go through a small pain period, worse than what it is now, in order to attain some goal in the near future, right? And most things normally you have to go through some kind of uncomfortable period to get there, right?
It's true.
And it takes, it takes a little bit of kind of perseverance. You got to listen to what this person has to say about your hygiene. Well, to be honest, okay, well, there are many things you could do to combat the initial pain period, I'm sure. If you put essential oils in your hair, it's going to smell amazing, right? Maybe it'll look a bit greasy for a bit. You'll get over it. Like, so your whole self-image isn't going to be lost just over like the first couple of weeks. If you wash it with water anyway, it doesn't go greasy. So normally when people say, "Oh, I'm going to wash my hair," they mean wash it with soap. But actually, so my hair goes greasy if I don't wash it with water after a while. Like, it goes proper, quite greasy and matty. But I wash it with water every day and it's fine. So you can still do that, and it's cool. Like, it's going to be fine after like a few weeks. So you can get past that pain period. So,
and I think it does also just stem down just to a bit of just having a bit of self assurance. I just be like, well, I'm just going to give it a go. And if people do mind, then they do mind. But this is something that I'm trying, and forget what everybody else think, because that's what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But, I mean, you need a reason why, right? If you're the kind of person who's just going to try it for shits and giggles, then you probably don't care what other people think. But if you need a reason why, and you have a reason why, and you want to try it, you shouldn't let other people, for anything in life, kind of, their perception of you to be the thing that stops you from potentially doing something that you think is going to be quite beneficial to you or beyond, right? Even beyond you, right? So,
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a nice way of putting it. You shouldn't let other people's perception of you stop you from doing.
Well, most people are just trying to assure their own view of the world, reality, right? They're trying to make sure that the picture's being painted exactly the same way every time, right? And the second you kind of knock that out, when you get the kind of gasp or exasperation when you tell someone something that doesn't affect them at all, but they still go, "Oh my God, you did that?" Or, "Wow," like, you can see in their face, like, the discomfort, right? But it's nothing to do with them, right? But it's just because that's how the brain works, an adult brain. So you can't just let them kind of get over it. Things become the norm very quickly, right? Think of a new routine you've got, and a new job you've had, a new whatever. Eventually becomes routine, and those things are. It's the same with everything. So if you stop washing your hair, eventually after 2-3 weeks, you'll forget that it's even a thing, right? And everyone else will as well. and it's not, I don't know, maybe, okay, I'm not in that circle where I'm normally talking about my hair with all my friends every day, but yeah, I mean sorry. Yeah, like it's probably, it's not something that comes up in conversation all the time, but yeah, eventually, if it did for the first couple of weeks, eventually it just blow over. I mean, first one is you don't have to tell everyone, right?
Good point. Yeah.
Or find one friend that is going to do it with you. Just keep it between you, and eventually you can come out and say, "Yeah, don't wash hair anymore." And then.
That's kind of a good thing to do. I think is find someone to do it with you. So therefore, you're not going to be the lone wolf or the weirdo just doing it by yourself.
Yeah.
And if you can convince that friend to do it, then you've got a bit of support there as well. And you can then feed off that person and say, "Oh, hey, how's it going for you? Do you feel greasy? Is it not? Is it working? Does it feel clean? What's like the because yeah, I think. Yeah, it is just somehow it'd be really interesting to actually go into the background of the like creation of shampoo and who actually created it. Was it a marketing campaign? What where did it all stem from? That'd be quite interesting to delve into that one, because once you've got over this supposed societal norm that you need to wash your hair every day. As a matter of fact, not just on the hair thing, but I was in the shop the other day, and there was these two old ladies in front of me, and they were like, they were talking. They were like, yeah, I don't get everyone's. I just don't get this thing that you have to wash yourself every day. I honestly just don't get it. I mean, it's not as if you're working down a mine. Are you? I mean, do you know what? If you're down a mine every day, then fair enough, have a shower. But you're not, So I just don't get it. Is that another thing that falls into your category of, do you actually have to wash every day?
I know people that haven't washed every day and they've smelled absolutely fine to me.
Right.
I don't know if I can name names. Maybe we can bleep out. A friend that we know, a mutual friend that we have.
Okay.
She famously showers like once a week or less. Something.
Okay.
And I've never noticed her like have any BO whatsoever.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I actually shower twice a day, but just with water. Right.
Yeah.
And that's because I have a cold shower morning and evening. So, but yeah, that's just so I can have a cold shower.
Mm.
I don't wash with soap in the morning.
And I suppose you like gym quite a lot, don't you, as well? So you're like purposefully exerting a force of sweat and shit.
If I was not to shower on Monday after mixed martial arts training, I think
you would have a girlfriend, would you really?
Yeah, and I think it's just it's just horrible. Like it's just it's not nice.
No, I can remember cycling with Dee in New Zealand, and it just would happen that you wouldn't be near a river or a stream or something, and you would get into that sleeping bag, and you could just feel like luckily we were smart enough to have so we had the sleeping bag, but then we had the silk inliner, and so if we were dirty, we put the silk inliner on first, and then so you kind of already be in the dirt. But if you were clean, you just go into the sleeping bag and it's fine. But there were quite a few times where it was just, here we go again, okay, into the silk inliner, and it's like you could just sort of feel the dirt. But that was a small price to pay. And I mean, I'm not too sure, because you obviously can't smell yourself. Or you can, but you might become used to it. But I didn't see us walking in shops and people walking behind us going, "Oh, Jesus Christ, oof, I'm not sure about that." even though we clearly look like cyclists, and we also met cyclists on the way as well. That some of them, a couple of people you thought, "Oh, God, yeah, fair enough. You might need to jump in a river," but then equally a couple of others who were completely fine.
But I find it's normally the clothes. Like if your clothes are dirty. And they've been festering, whatever, and they're not getting any your body's not sort of trying to balance the microbiome in your t-shirt, right? Then they start to stink, and then if you work out in them again or cycle again for the whole day, then that will smell pretty bad. Yeah, that's normally when I get comments. Is I'm just not bothered to change. But I go gym for an hour and I'll put that t-shirt on, then I'll go back the next day. I'll wear the same one. Like this one doesn't smell good. This one doesn't smell good.
Okay, so interestingly, you said I smell fresh. Just smell. Hold on. Just smell this t-shirt. See what you think. Smell around.
Smells good. Smells lovely. It smells like your house. That's how your house smells. It's like
So
lavender. Is that what is that?
I swear to God, I have been wearing this top for 3 days.
What have you been spraying it? Is it just your deodorant? You haven't put anything on it?
Yeah, no, just deodorant. Yeah, just deodorant.
It's got to be in the fact. So I tell you what, if I apply tea tree to my armpits and then put a t-shirt on, that t-shirt will last much longer than one in which I don't, and that's just obvious, right?
Does tea tree have antibacterial properties?
Yeah. So I mean, normally, if I'm just being lazy, I just won't bother. And just God help you if you get close to me in the gym. To be honest. Well, one time I went in there. Was it Tuesday? On Sunday I was cooking all day. I made I made a lot of. What did you make? No, it was even from Saturday and Sunday. I wore the same t-shirt to cook. And then on Tuesday morning, I went outside to train. And then so normally every morning I just go outside and train, do a few pull-ups and stuff. And it was a wonderful day. So I took my t-shirt off. Like I'm pretty sure I was getting suntan. And then I came inside, put the t-shirt on, and I forgot about it, right? Later on, I went to the gym, and I forgot to change this t-shirt. And if I show you it, it's got stains down the front of all different colors because I think I was making custard on the Sunday. The Saturday I made...
It's like a pop art.
Saturday I made the spring rolls with the peanut sauce.
Mhm.
Oh, I made a good peanut sauce that time.
Okay.
I'll tell you the recipe. It was good. And then that had all got down there. And it just looked horrid. And then it's actually got some like old oil stains on the front of this poor Spurs shirt. It's actually from Great Season as well. Yeah, it's just pretty ruined. And I went to the gym, and God help anyone who got close to me with that. I felt, yeah. I think there was like a sphere of about 10 meters around me.
Should have had that warning sign of like keep that distance.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's clearly bacteria that fester in warm, in the underpit, in kind of warm scenarios. It's the same. Like if you take a t-shirt and you don't think it's dirty, but you have worn it, and you iron it, it stinks. Yeah, and it's the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? I think that's a quite nice. That's a nice little just putting out their start, I think.
Yeah, we actually spoke a lot more about it than I thought, to be honest.
I know, right?
Next one will be teeth brushing, because I actually have some foundation to that in terms of like,
Okay.
I've never read a book on hair washing or hair health.
But you've actually done it yourself, and it looks quite good.
Yeah,
So.
but the teeth thing, I kind of got to a point where I had to go to the dentist again, and I was like, I brushed my teeth twice a day. I've got like, okay, I historically I've not been good oral hygiene wise, but for the last few years I've been good in terms of toothpaste every day, brush my teeth every day. Maybe I wasn't great maybe I wasn't brushing right, or maybe whatever, right? But then also kind of the like, just putting it out there, but do I need to use toothpaste? Then that kind of got me reading, and then I eventually landed on a book, and then I've started following what's in the book, and I don't think I'll ever use toothpaste again. I mean, I know I'll never use toothpaste again.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the next one, I think.
Do you want to put that on a little cliffhanger, like a
Yeah.
No, that was supposed to be the EastEnders theme tune, which goes. I'm watching it so long.
Bum bum. No.
Oh,
Bum bum.
come on.
Bum 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 bum.
What's the
Something like that,
cliffhanger?
innit?
music? Do it again.
Bum 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 bum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah, I missed that bit.
Great.
Do we have to do a clap now? Is that, are we good?
No, I think we just stop.
All right.
I think the sun's on my side today. I got a lease of life, I feel okay. Need to call around, get them all out, jump in the car and get on our way. Cause there's love and there's strength in numbers. They can try, but they're never gonna run us down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear, but they're never gonna race us down. I'm alive on a high, blue skies, there's nothing better. Hands up, we're on a ride, hold tight, we're laughing together. Ooh, we'll light it up, and ooh, we can't be stopped. And oh, can't hear us coming. Oh, we take off and keep it running. Take a stop at the riverside, crack 'em open, pass around the light. Breathe it in and out, bring our guards down. Yeah, this is ours for the day and the night. try, but they're never gonna run us down. Speakers loud, it's like we're on a come up. Fifth gear, but they're never gonna race us down.